Hey guys, hanging out here in South Africa. We're about to do our first View from the Edge training, which is 20 different short plays that we act out so people not just hear the information, they also see it. But what I want to just talk to you about right now is the general concept or using analogies or metaphors to get your potential customer, your audience to really understand what you're doing. So let's use this, a basketball. And if you don't know the game of basketball, most of you have at least seen it somewhere where you shoot the ball in the air with some arc on it and you try to make it into a basket. Now, to play a sport, a lot of times to really win, you've got to be intense. You got to be motivated. You got to be really into the game. You got to have a lot of energy for it. You can't play passively. You can't have a lackadaisical attitude. You've got to want to win and therefore have intensity. But if you're intense in basketball and you're like, and you throw the ball at the basket as hard as you can because you're intense, well, you're not going to score any points. So you've got to have that intensity, but at the same time, have touch. You've still got to have finesse while you have intensity. Now that is a not easy thing to do. It definitely works in our business. A lot of people want to win so bad. They're pushing their people so hard to hit the next rank or to make a sale or do whatever that you're like, you're throwing. It's not the deal. You've got to be relaxed, have a relaxed intensity. I know that's an oxymoron, but that oxymoron has made me a lot of money. On the inside, I'm fired up. On the outside, I've got finesse. I'm going to allow myself to relax and enjoy what I'm doing because ultimately, let's go back to basketball, it's a game. Whether I'm playing at the pee-wee level or whether I'm playing in high school or college or playing pro, it's still a game. When you get so intense that you forget that it's a game and you stop having fun, then you're not in very good shape. So I just gave you some really good teaching points that probably help you and could help a lot of people on your team. Feel free to forward this video because a lot of the people on your teams, your sales teams, they're way too intense. They're almost suffocating the air out of the ball. They're so intense. They need to relax. They need to have fun, and they need to understand it's intensity and finesse that wins most games, not just basketball. That's true of almost every sport. Now, what I just gave you is an analogy and a metaphor. I could get rid of this basketball and talk you through the same analogy and metaphor. A lot of people want to be great speakers, and all they do is give you fact, information. So if they have 45 minutes to give a talk, they give 45 minutes worth of information. When they walk off stage, they feel good because they give as much information to the class as they possibly could. See, to me, that's a disaster because most of the people didn't learn anything. Because you didn't go slow enough. You tried to give them too much information. And information is no good unless someone remembers it and understands what it really means. I remember years ago being in a gym and I was learning how to work one of the machines and I was doing it wrong. I was pulling the pulleys like this, and my trainer kept saying, no, get your elbows in the right position. I'm like, okay, and I didn't understand the words he was saying, so they said, Mark, put your elbows up like this. Imagine there's a sheet of glass, a pane of glass underneath them, and just lift back over that pane of glass. Now I got the right motion he was looking for because he gave me an analogy. So if you want people to really understand what you're saying to them, don't give them 45 minutes worth of information, a 45-minute talk. Give them about 20 minutes of information and use analogies and stories that support what you just taught them. There's an old expression, facts tell, stories sell, and analogies, as I just proved to you, or metaphors, whatever you want to call them, are also obviously very powerful. So if you want to be a great trainer, give half the information you think you should, support it with analogies, metaphors, and stories, and you'll get more people understanding. Because here's the bottom line to training. What's the point of teaching something if people don't understand it? Because if they understand and they don't use it, it's been a waste of everyone's time. Knowledge is not power. That's comical. It's the application of knowledge that's power, but people can't apply what they've learned if they don't understand it. Teach in a simple manner. Make sure people understand what you taught. Then they can take action. Then you become a great trainer.